Hey guys, Willem from Blauberg Snake Rescue here. In this video I'd like to show you an easy way to capture your snake relocations on your phone so you can later export that as a spreadsheet that you can send to Nature Conservation when you need to renew your permits. So the first thing you need to do is go to this website on your computer. You unfortunately can't set this up from your phone, but once it's been set up you can use it on your phone. So you need to go to this website, typeform.com. And then you click on the sign up button on the top right and you create a Typeform account for yourself. After you've created your account, what you want to do is click on the add form button and then create a new form from scratch, and you'll be presented with this screen. Now on this screen you can add all the fields that you want to have on your form. So let's quickly take a look here. If I click on blocks on the left hand side, I've got all my options for the various fields that I want to add. So let's say first of all I want a date field. If I just scroll down a little bit, here I've got date. So let's put the date here and I'll call this capture date. And then let's add another date field. Well, actually let's set this. I'm just going to change a couple of settings here to put it in the format that I like. This is a required field. Perfect. Now if I duplicate this, I'm also going to have a release date. There we go. If I close that and just go back to my blocks, I can then add more fields. So I had the date field and then the capture date, and then I had the release date. Now let's also set a drop down here for the species. You can use either a drop down or a text field. If it's a text field, use short text like this. Then you're going to have to type the species name in there every time. Alternatively, what you can do is you can use a drop down field, which is this one over here. And let me just set the name here. There we go. In here, you can list all the various species. It takes a bit of work to put it in here the first time, but once you've got them in here, you'll always just be able to select from the drop down rather than typing every time. So let me add a couple here. Okay, so there are a couple of options. So it can be quite tedious to type all of your species names out the first time when you create this form. But if you'd like, I do have a spreadsheet of all the common, scientific, and combined, starting with either the common or the scientific name, species names for all of the snakes in South Africa. So if you'd like a copy of this, just go to my Facebook page, Blauberg Snake Rescue, and send me a message with your email address, and I'd be happy to send you the spreadsheet, and you can use whichever one of these name formats that you prefer, and then you can actually just paste them in here. There we go. You just have to do this once and your drop down is going to be populated. Okay, so whether you use a drop down or a text field for the species, that field is going to be required. Like I said, I prefer the drop down because then you don't have to type out the name every single time. I want to keep this form as simple as possible. So I'm going to take the text field out, in my case actually. Just click there, there we go. Okay, so I've got capture date, I've got species, I've got release date, and now it would be good to put the location in here as well, where I found it. So I'm going to add a text field here for that. Location found, and I'll just be able to type the address or copy the GPS coordinates in here. There are many apps on your phone that will give you the GPS coordinates. It's probably good to have the location released field as well. So let's duplicate this, location released. And I'm just going to move this one up here. So let's call it capture date and capture location, and release date and release location. There we go. Actually going to put species right at the top as well. Okay, so I have species, I have capture date, capture location, release date, release location. A couple of other things that would be nice to note would be, for example, gender. So let's add that as a drop down. And that's going to be either unknown, female, or male. Move that down to the bottom here. Okay, so gender is not required though, but we've got gender in there. I can put a drop down in here for age as well. Age, which would be juvenile, sub-adult, adult, and I think that should be pretty much it for now. And you could optionally add a photo of the animal in here as well, using the file upload field. If you want to do that, you're going to have to upgrade to the paid version of Typeform though. In that case, let's just check the costing here. So the pro version will cost 350, 400 Rand a month. Not really worth it for me, so I'm not going to add a photo upload field here. I do have my photos ordered by date in my photo gallery anyway, so if I need to go and look up a photo, I can go and check that. Great, so that's essentially it. One thing I just realized is that release date and release location should maybe not be required, because what if the animal you collected is deceased? So let's just take those out. There we go. And now, after I've created this form, I'm just going to click on Save Typeform. Great, it's been saved. And now if I click on this View button at the top, it's going to open up this Typeform, and it gives me a special little URL that's unique to my form. That URL I can send to my phone, and I can save it as a bookmark on my phone. And whenever I open that up, I'm going to see this form, and I'll be able to fill it in. So let's fill it in once on the computer, and then I'll do it once on the phone, and then I'll show you the results. So this is what the form looks like. First up is species. Let's say it's a wormslung. Capture date, let's say it was 2018. What's today's date? 0502. Capture location, let's say 1 some street somewhere, Cape Town. Release date, release location, gender, let's say I did probe it so I know what the gender is, age, sub-adult, perfect, I click submit. And I just captured my record, as easy as that. So let's open up the same form on my phone. Okay, so here I have that form open on my phone. An easy way to save this form, if you're on an iPhone at least, is the first time you open it up, just tap on this button in the middle, and then scroll to the right hand side until you see that Add to Home Screen button. Tap on that, give it a name, so let's say Snake Captures. Tap on Add, and your phone's actually going to save this as an icon on your desktop, and you can just tap on that icon at any time to open up the form again. Okay, so let's fill this out. I'm going to select a species. Let's say this is a Cape Cobra this time. I'm going to enter a capture date. Let's say this was yesterday. Capture location, release date, release location. Let's say this time I didn't probe it, so I just skip this question. I tap on the arrow at the bottom. Age, this was an adult. Submit. And I've just captured another record. Okay, so after I've captured a couple of records, if I log back into the Typeform website and I then go to results over here, on the results screen it will then show me some details about all of the completions for this form. But if I go to responses over here, I can see all the specific data sets that were entered, and I can even see them for a specific time range, and I can do ordering or specific species, all of that. And if I then click on download all responses at the bottom of the screen, and I select to download this as a CSV file or an Excel file, I will get a spreadsheet that I can open up. So let's see what that looks like. There we go. here's my capture data with the species, capture date, addresses, all that stuff, and I can just send this through to Nature Conservation. If you guys have any questions about this, feel free to send me a message. Go to my Facebook page, Blauberg Snake Rescue. Just send me a message through the page. Play around with Typeform as well. There are some other interesting features you can add on here as well. But this is pretty much the basics of what you need.